everyone, I thought I'd do a quick video on our home ed space. So just where we keep our books, our learning resources and how we manage in such a small space. So I'll go ahead and show you. So basically we have this corner, which is the main home ed space. We have the table, which is obviously the dining table, but that's what we really use for sitting and writing and bits like that. Although Stan does like to write on the floor and bits like that as well. So on the table I have this stacker, and normally I have my planner. Obviously it's summer at the minute, so it's not all set up, but normally I have my planner on here. Anything we're actually using this week, I normally try and have set up just there, so that I know what we're doing and it's all just there set up. Over here we have our board, which we use for displays, and I've just backed that ready for a new display. We have our globe, and that's just the diffuser because I like to have something on, some nice smells. And normally we do this every day, which is our date and the day, just for practice and bits, and to remind Stan if he's writing in his diary. Then further down we have these baskets. So in this one it's kind of random things like, well, their wallets are in there actually at the minute, but there's some protection glasses for science and a travel game. It's kind of just a random basket, that one. There's always access to felt tip pens, that's my pencil case, and under here there's lots of crayons and bits like that. So there's always access to all of that sort of stuff. And in the right hand one there's just the stapler, some tape, post-it notes, glue, so that Stanley and Ronnie can both use them whenever they want to. Going down here, I always have Ronnie's busy books here because he really likes to do them, and if Stan and I are sitting down doing something, it's a really good activity for him to be doing. And then next we have this basket which has, let me bring it up to the table actually so you can actually see because the lighting's not very good. In here we've just got these Letter Factory shapes that just go in here, and they say the letters sound. Stan doesn't really use them anymore, but they're just handy to have, and Roddy quite likes them. An abacus, our maths blocks just here, which we use quite a lot, and Stanley's calculator. This is for practicing tying laces, which he's already done, but we just leave that in there in case. There's a couple of little maths games which are quite cute. And also some threading buttons for Ronnie and Stan if he wants to. Alphabet cards, flashcards. These are the history cards, which are pretty cool. And it's got all of the monarchs and bits. And also there's the clock here that we use, the movable clock. And there's also a couple of little maths games in there. So that's kind of just a work basket that we use quite a lot. Down here I have quite a lot of different books. These ones are in no particular order really. These are just kind of size order depending on what fits. There's the encyclopedia and the dictionary so that Stan can use that all of the time. And then we have this tall bookcase as well. And that's kind of sorted out a little bit into kind of like science, nature and bits like that. And then up here I have all of my workbooks and my teaching books kind of thing, anything that I actually use, and also we've still got the sort of phonics books and stuff ready for Ronnie here, but we're kind of running out of space, which is a bit of a problem, so I have to control myself in the charity shops to how many books I buy. Up here we've got Stan and I's new nature journals, which we're going to decorate the front after holiday because we're off on holiday next week. My resource folder, so that has lots of just sheets that I've used in the past and display headers and things like that that I may use again. This is the actual national curriculum, which I keep a copy in case I want to refer to it for anything. That's just a spare ring binder. Stanley's also got a day trip journal here. This is my planner and the Exploring Nature curriculum that are just up here at the moment, just until the summer's finished. Then our Handbook of Nature Study, which obviously goes with that curriculum. If you see my video on the Exploring Nature with Children curriculum, you'll see that one. So we have a pretty small flat, so it takes up quite a lot of space, but I think it's just quite a nice area. So over here we also have the computer, which Stanley uses a lot, and so do I. And that's just that area, so there's all paper and bits behind there as well. And our subscriber chart. And then just in these baskets, the last bit here, so in this basket there's a big tin full of buttons and bits like that for sticking, a couple of drawing bits, lots of card and colouring books, and just bits that they can have access to all the time. Now paint and stuff, I would love them to have access to all of the time. I mean, they do have access because they just need to ask me, but that's in a kitchen cupboard because we rent this place, and having paint all over the carpet all of the time is probably not the greatest idea. So yeah, that's in the cupboard and they can just ask when they want that. So in the second bottom basket, there's games that Stan likes to play all of the time, like Shut the Box that we were given. It's an old game, but it's a really good maths game. Greedy Gorilla, and there's a few sort of letter games and stuff like that that I've got from charity shops. Stan's not really using them anymore, but I'm sure that Ronnie will. The basket up here, we have got the, whatever you call this, etch-a-sketchy type thing that the boys like. And in this basket, it's just Play-Doh and bits, and lots of tools that go with the Play-Doh, so that they can have access to that and just get that out on the table or whatever they want to do. And in the last basket, there is puzzles and bits. Lots of different puzzles, floor puzzles. Ronnie likes this Toy Story one at the moment. Again, there's a few more in the bedroom cupboard, and I try and rotate them occasionally as well. I have some additional books and things just here. So a lot of the sort of phonics books and the Biff and Chip books, which again Stan's kind of finished with now, but Ronnie definitely will use those. We've got a Famous Five collection and the new Exciting Little House collection, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and bits like that really. So that's just a couple of shelves on that bookshelf as well, and Steve and I use the bookshelf for our books as well. So that is pretty much it, and that's how we do it in a small space. We try and keep on top of everything. I try and keep the areas tidy as we go along, and as I say, I'm having to limit myself a little bit on how many books we buy and try and borrow them from the library instead of buying them all of the time. So I hope this video has been useful for you. I'd love to hear about your home-ed spaces and if you've got lovely home-ed rooms. Unfortunately, that's something we can't have, but we manage pretty well with what we've got. If you have any questions, please pop them below and I'll get back to you. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for our next video. Bye!